In a move that could have huge ramifications for India's fledgling Buy Now Pay Later or BNPL market, the RBI has asked non-bank prepaid payment instrument or PPI issuers to not load these instruments through credit lines. Issued in the form of wallets or prepaid cards, PPIs facilitate purchases against the value stored on them. They can be loaded by cash, debit to a bank account, debit and credit cards. Fintechs in the pay later card business like Slice, Uni, LazyPay, PostPay, etc. make use of bank-issued PPIs and partner with NBFCs to offer credit lines to customers. According to RBI, there are 37 non-bank PPI issuers, including Amazon Pay, Ola Financial Services, and Bajaj Finance, which is one of the biggest NBFCs. RBI's move has given rise to some confusion, even as the industry is still evaluating the impact of its clarification. Macquarie Capital said it could impact credit card challengers who were adding lakhs of customers every month. PPI is meant to act as a payment instrument and not a credit instrument, it said, adding that many customers were also unknowingly taking a line of credit through their wallets at the point of checkout, and some of these practices may not have gone down well with RBI. But given that RBI's letter is addressed to non-bank PPI issuers, Nomura analysts believe there will not be any restrictions on such pay later players unless a similar letter was also sent to bank issuers. Fintech startup Red Carpet's founder Sandeep Srinivasa said that all BNPL products in India work on PPIs and the fintech lending ecosystem works on the principle of credit lines through wallets and built on top of PPIs.
Yes, this is going to be impacting everyone who is in the BNPL space. The cost-free EMI, PPI leveraged business models around retail payments, everything is getting impacted. When the RBI says non-banks are not allowed to top up prepaid instruments directly from a credit, it's not yet clear whether the banks are allowed to do that, right? They haven't said banks are allowed to do that. My reading is banks are allowed to do it. Having said that, it is nothing new. This has started quite some time back with RBI working paper on digital lending, and then the KYC and compliance related concerns also. Now, even with NBFC, peer-to-peer lending, whichever other form of licensed lending business that they can do, PPI suddenly is taken out, which means the experience is going to be impacted. Without PPI, how do you load? You will have to process it like a loan and then push it to customer's bank account. Instant credit on need basis is kind of taken a hit. So it's a clear shock and heavy impact, I would say. It is understood that we can't now start building a business model keeping PPI in the middle.
Macquarie said that risks are increasing for the fintech sector, for which regulations have been light touched so far. RBI's Payments Vision 2025 states that a discussion paper on the need for proportionate regulation for them, encompassing domestic incorporation, reporting, data use, etc., will be published. It also talks about looking at the various charges for payments in such a way that it further encourages digital adoption.
Whether it is for fintechs, NBFC or banks, it's not an acceptable arbitrage to have in a system. This is, as a regulator, as a central banker, it is going to be their continued pursuit to ensure that those arbitrages are addressed if they are giving systemically wide gap for someone to play foul. More importantly, RBI is already regulating fintechs. Data localization rules are there. Fintechs are supposed to be following all the guidelines as far as the KYC is concerned, even the source of funds is concerned. So the outsourcing guidelines are there from RBI in terms of how a fintech can work with a bank. There's enough working papers. So RBI is already regulating them directly, indirectly.
With RBI not keen on the idea of issuing licenses for digital-only banks, Grant Thornton Bharat's partner Jay Krishnan G said that neobanks and fintechs are under pressure to reinvent their business models as they were hoping to eventually transform into open or digital banks.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
क्या हाल?
मत पूछ यार,
फिर से स्टॉक्स में फंस गया।
तो स्टॉक्स के साथ बॉन्ड्स, इंश्योरेंस, गोल्ड में बैलेंस कर।
इसमें बहुत तामझाम है।
तुझे 5 पैसा नहीं पता?
अब तो सबको पता है। 5 पैसा है ऑल इन वन अकाउंट। डाउनलोड 5 पैसा नाउ।
अब तो सबको पता है Investing made easy and rewarding with 5paisa. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.